Welcome back, everyone. I'm Vanessa Scarlett with vanessascarlett.com, and we are here for part 2 of our web series. The second part, we are talking about self-love, and we are back with Dr. Gardier. Can you just tell me a little bit about what is self-love?
Well, quite simply, it is accepting who you are, accepting your strengths, accepting some of your deficits. Notice I didn't say weaknesses, but some of the things that you can improve in yourself, but accepting who you are and being able to look in that mirror and say, I like you. And that person in the mirror looking back and saying, you know what? You ain't so bad either.
What can people do to start loving themselves more? Start looking in the mirror and actually liking what they see with the flaws and all.
Well, I think it's very important that you be realistic as to who you are, and certainly who you would like to be, but being grounded in what God has given you, what the Creator has given you, and what you can do with that. So it's not so much about all of the makeup and all of the cosmetic surgeries and all of those things, because you'll never be satisfied with that. It really is about being able to look at yourself and say, that's okay, I accept that. In the first part of our web series, I was very honest with you. I don't see myself as being a handsome person, but I like the way I look. It's easy on the eyes, right? And so I accept that and I embrace that and I'm happy for that. Would I want to be taller? Would I want to be better looking? Believe it or not necessarily, because I actually like being who I am and being a little fugly and what have you. As a matter of fact, even some of the women who I've met very beautiful women. I've met some women who've had a lot of flaws physically. I actually prefer the women with the flaws because those are real people who really depend on their personalities in order to grow and in order to meet people,
Right.
instead of depending on just their looks or having to live, on the compliments that people give them. So the harder way is the best way. So that's the first thing, accepting who you are, flaws, and everything else that are part of you. And the second thing is to not be so hard on yourself, and know that you are a work in progress, that the Creator's put you on the planet in order to live a life that is full, and you deserve to be happy, but as well you have a responsibility to help others, to volunteer, to show kindness and love to others, and to bring as much enlightenment as possible. And I think all of those things will help you with self-love because, at the end of the day, is it really just about you, or is it really about the community on this planet of being there for one another? So if you're able to do that, then you're heads and shoulders above those who are just stuck in their own heads. So the second part of that is to get out of your head, get into the community, share love, give love, accept love, and you'll be able to love yourself.
What advice would you give to someone who suffers from low self-esteem?
Well, certainly you have to look at why you have low self-esteem and not blame yourself or blame other people for that, though there are people who can really destroy your spirit by some of the things that they say and do and how they treat you. They hurt you badly, and that certainly is something that is real. But I just think it's important to be able to look at some of the traumas in your life, and we've all had traumas, things that made us question ourselves, question our competence, question our looks, question the way we dress, question the way we talk, question the way we interact. And as we get older, look at those things with a more discerning eye. Look at them with more wisdom. Talk to other people and reframe those situations as perhaps points in life that were not placed there to destroy us, but to teach us a lesson and to make us stronger.
How do you forgive yourself and others for mistakes that may have happened in the past? How do you let go of something that's happened so that you're not carrying that baggage?
Well, if it's something that is not that important, it becomes easier to let go and to forgive, especially things that happen to us, on a daily basis. Someone bumping us on the subway, or someone telling a lie about us, or someone embarrassing us, or saying something that may be hurtful. Those are the things that are easy to let go of. And you'll see that as you do that more and more every day, that it becomes easier and easier every day to forgive other people who act out against us, and sometimes they're not even aware that they're doing it. But for those situations where there might have been some sort of abuse, physical, sexual, emotional, or someone led you to financial ruin, or you were perhaps involved in a car accident where it was someone else's fault, and now you've sustained damage. Those things take time. It takes wisdom, but you'll also find that if you're with other like-minded people, that by being able to commune with them and relying on their strength, and together with their support, looking to forgive that individual, that it is easier. So sometimes you have to look at faith helping you. The Lord's Prayer. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. So that in itself is inspirational. The Creator has taught us to be able to look at what people do and not to hold that in a way that hurts us, but to also be responsible, because we've also have done things to other people. So as we try not to hurt them, it becomes easier for us to forgive them for what they do. So being able to forgive others, it's great. You're helping them, but more than anything, it helps you as the person letting go of that pain. You have to let go of it because it will keep you from reaching your true potential in life.
How would you say a person can begin to live a more purposeful life?
A person can really begin to live a more purposeful life by knowing what their purpose is, right?
Which is oftentimes the issue. They,
right.
They don't know.
We don't appreciate the fact that the Creator has not only created us in His image or her image, but also we're all individuals and we all have a purpose on this planet. And there's a reason for us to be here to help to affect change, and that's really important. So as we begin to understand what our mission is and what our strengths are and what we can begin to do in order to make a difference, that's how we begin to lead a purposeful life and understand and accept that we are all great in our own way. Find your power. Find your meaning.
Find your power.
Find your reason for living.
How do you say no and feel good about it and not feel guilty?
Well, you have to understand, saying no is not a bad thing. Saying no is actually a good thing. Because too often we say yes and we don't mean it. And that is a bad thing because people are relying upon what we said we were going to do and we don't do it. We call that passive-aggressive behavior. Okay, we set people up for certain things and we don't follow through.
Right.
Because we were afraid to say no, so it's just yes, 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 yes. Or a situation of where you become very upset with yourself because you committed to something that you really weren't prepared for. So when you say no, and sometimes we say no often, sometimes some of us don't say it a lot, but when you say no and you really mean it, that means that you are the boss of your own life.
And that is very important, especially in the new year. Be the boss of your own life. Mm-hmm. How do you nurture your spirit? Because that's very important in self-love. How would you suggest that someone nurtures their emotions and, just go forward and make sure that not only are they healthy physically, but healthy mentally and emotionally?
I think it's very, very hard to be strong spiritually if you're not taking care of your body, or at least making the attempts. Now, of course, there are people who are crippled, people who are infirmed, and who have very strong spirituality. They have no choice because that is all that they have. But if you are lucky, if you are blessed to have a body that you can work, a mind that you can work, Well, certainly you should do both, because strong mind leads to strong body, which leads to strong spirituality, or any combination in the way that you want to do. So that strong body, healthy body, then gives you the comfort and really the luxury of then being able to work on your mind and being able to work on your spirit. And I think it's vitally important you do that too, whether that be through your religion, whether that be through prayer, whether that be through meditation, whether it be through good acts, whether it's through anything that is helps you get to the next step emotionally and spiritually, that you do whatever feeds your spirit,
Right.
then certainly do it, because it's important. You should be developing physically, emotionally, spiritually every single day. I just think it's important that we get involved in physical exercise every day to live happier and healthier lives.
Sometimes the misconception is that if you're not overweight or if you're slim or a skinny person, you don't need to exercise.
Even if even though we know that people who live very long usually are on the slimmer side, not always. Heart disease and all these other things don't discriminate. If you're not taking care of yourself, if you're a super thin person but you're smoking and you're eating junk food and you're doing all the wrong things, you're at risk too.
Right.
Don't think just because you're slim,
That's
you
right.
got it like that.
That's right.
Okay?
Just because you slim, you don't got it like that. What would you say your final thoughts are on self-love, and for anybody who's looking to improve on that or get started on it for 2017?
It is essential that you understand, accept who you are, begin to love who you are, so that you can be in a healthy and loving relationship. It all begins at home, within the temple.
Thank you so much for being on VenusaScarlet.com. We very much appreciate it.
It is my pleasure.